Yo, what is up everybody? I am Legend, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about the best music production software, aka DAW, that beginners can use to get started in making music. Let's go. So here we are back with another video, and you may have noticed this is not really the cinematic high-tech kind of thing that I've been doing the last couple of weeks with my friend Prometheus over here. My guy, you know. He's taking a break for tonight because it's really been a while since I've done just like a sit down, talk to the camera type of video. So that is going to be what I'm going to do here today. And I'm talking about the best DAWs that I think are going to be the most powerful and useful for somebody who's just getting their music journey started. Whether that be you're trying to record vocals, make a beat, or do both in one. The one that's going to be the easiest to use, the greatest value for your money, the features that are included, and then like an ecosystem that's built around it. So these are kind of like the things that I sort of look at when I'm trying to decide on what DAWs are great to use. I have 3 DAWs that are currently my favorites to work with, especially for beginners, that I want to talk about for today. So obviously number 1, we all know what I'm going to choose. You guys know that I make millions of videos about this particular DAW. It's going to be Garageband for Apple. Now first starting off, one of the reasons why Garageband is going to be a really great DAW to use for people who have Macs is because it is 100% free. GarageBand, all the sounds included, growing libraries that they continue to add loops and sounds to every day. Everything is free. I've never had to pay for anything in GarageBand. I haven't had to pay for the app on my phone, on my computer. It just comes pre-installed. And also all the sounds you could just download that Apple makes totally free. So you have this growing library of things that you can add to your song if you're making a beat. GarageBand is also very good for recording vocals because guess what? It is the little brother to Logic Pro X. And for those of you who don't know, Logic Pro X is like a very high standard music production software that a lot of people, even ones that I know in the music industry, record with, which is kind of like Pro Tools. Super advanced, it's got all different kinds of features, but it's still easy to use. Now this is important because GarageBand looks and feels exactly like Logic, with one of the major things that I would say is a big difference is the lack of bus channels, which if you're just starting out in your music production journey, you might not even know what a bus channel is. But chances are if you're a beginner, you're using a minimal amount of plugins, you're not doing too much audio processing, you're just trying to get your ideas out. So this is why GarageBand is so powerful, because you can still add plugins, effects, all different kinds of things to your vocals. It's just on a smaller scale. And if you try to go for the bigger projects, of course you would want something like Logic, but GarageBand is literally just as powerful. I've recorded probably my last 8 projects all in GarageBand, all professional. I've done features for Grammy-nominated artists, people who work with Snoop Dogg, Chris Brown. I've used GarageBand and they had 0 problem with it. So it really does not lack in features. It's got ways to record vocals, ways to produce music, MIDI files, you got audio files if you want to work with loops and sounds and things like that. You have the ability to add plugins if you want to, which is going to be super important for making your stuff sound professional. It's even got a built-in auto-tune feature, pitch correction, where basically you don't have to go out and buy a $300 piece of software that's gonna tune your vocals for you. It's already built directly into GarageBand, and it's super simple to turn on and just turn the knob up, you got some auto-tune. Also, the really cool thing about it is the ecosystem, and this is what I love so much. Because it is an Apple product, it is made for Mac, it aligns with iPhones, iPads, MacBooks, iMacs, any kind of Apple product you have that can have this application on it, whether it be GarageBand for iOS or GarageBand for desktop or on your laptop. You'll be able to transfer, for instance, my files from the iPhone to my Mac with 0 problem. I'll be able to open it and finish my project right there, adding all the professional things. And the biggest part about this is once you are ready to get into a professional DAW, aka naturally for you, it would be Logic if you're using a Mac, you can open GarageBand projects in Logic Pro X, and it transfers all the files, all the effects, everything. It just adds all the different features that Logic has now. So now you're able to just step up to the bigger brother of the audio production software on Apple without any compatibility issues, none of that stuff. It's super, super clutch, and this is why I love GarageBand. Now the next DAW I want to talk about is one that's relatively new to me, one that I just started using about 3 or 4 weeks ago. It is called Serato Studio. Now some of you guys may already know what Serato is and how these people came up from being like a DJ company and implementing a whole bunch of different like useful tools for DJs to perform and do their mixes and things like that, mashups. They have stepped into the digital audio workstation world and made a piece of software with all of the technology that they have for DJs and are giving it to producers now. So now we have Serato Studio where you can make beats incredibly fast, incredibly easy. You've seen in some of the videos that I've released recently how quickly and efficiently I can come up with an idea in Serato Studio. This is why it is great for beginners. So the ease of use is incredible. The interface is very easily navigated once you get used to the layout and the way things are placed, because it was a little bit different for me. Having your sample window here and your sequencing window here and your layout on the bottom, plugins are in different areas. So it is a little bit different in terms of learning where everything is, but once you figure that out, super simple to use. And this is especially heightened by the features that they include with the software. So this includes automatic key changing when you are putting in a sample or you're playing something on the chords on the keyboard and you change the key of your entire project, it'll transpose everything that you just played to a brand new key. The same thing with the BPM. If you put a beat in there, you have a sample, and you want to speed up or slow down the project, it's going to speed up or slow down the sample automatically with the snap of a finger. It's so quick. It doesn't even load. It doesn't do anything crazy like that. It's super fast. Functionally, this makes not only creativity streamlined for you, but easy, and you don't have to like try and rack your brain and search up YouTube videos. How do I time stretch? It just works. On the flip side, in the sequencer aspect of this application, you have the drum pattern randomizer, where you can select specifically what genre you're creating music in, tap the button, and it'll randomize a drum pattern specifically for that genre, whether it be hip hop, R&B, EDM, techno, it doesn't matter. It knows what style of beat you're trying to make. It'll randomize it for you if you don't know yet how to produce your own drums. And this is super useful for somebody who's just getting started. Maybe you don't want to use loops. Maybe you don't want to go to Splice or download a sample pack. Maybe you want to actually have the pattern to be able to create something and fiddle around with it in the app. You can do that because it's all in the sequencer. It's not a baked in loop, which is awesome. But then you can also use loops if you feel like it, because let's face it, Serato, they know what they're doing as far as like pitching and time stretching, because that's literally how they got started. Scratching, you got to be able to time stretch and match things when you're mixing and mashing up records together as a DJ. They implemented all these tools in their DAW, and now we have the power to use the same stuff. They also have an auto chords feature where if you don't know how to play certain chords in certain scales or whatever, you just select the auto chord or the play in key button. Everything that you press will be played in key, and every time you press a button in the auto chords feature, there's a chord that's going to be in that key for you. So you can play chords without having to play chords, if you get what I'm saying. Now, as far as value goes, there is a free version that you can get where you are limited to a certain amount of tracks, but this is great for people who just want to get started, want to feel it out, want to see if it's right for them. And there is more value even so, like with all the stuff that comes with the paid version, all the loops, all the samples, the one-shots, the drums that come with the paid version, they are top notch. They are so dope. I love the sound selection in Serato Studio. Now that's beat focused. Garageband is mostly like vocals and beats. You can do both. And then lastly, the one that I want to talk about is Maschine. This is a program made by Native Instruments that I got started on about 9 or 10 years ago. I switched over from FL Studio to Maschine. Now some people would say, oh, you didn't put FL Studio on this list. Nah, because for beginners, absolute beginners, for all the value and the features and the things that you get, the ecosystem, I think these three are the best. So Maschine, when I switched from FL to Maschine, I made a beat in the first day, in like the first 30 minutes of me using it. So it was very easy for me to use. It is gonna be a little bit more advanced than like GarageBand, and probably on the same level as like Serato Studio as far as like, the interface goes, but I think it has a really clean, nice looking interface. It's very aesthetically pleasing, at least to my eyes. So that's why I also like Maschine. And the value that you're getting when you spend the money to get Maschine, because what you have to do is you have to buy hardware in order to get the software. Maschine is not sold separately. But the thing is, you're buying, for instance, a $130 keyboard or a $99 audio interface, something that's gonna get you in the door from Native Instruments. It comes with the Maschine software and a bunch of their sounds included. So you're getting this beat-making monster DAW for as cheap as $100. That value right there, you're getting an audio interface and a DAW. You're getting a keyboard and a DAW. You're getting a drum machine and a DAW. And all this stuff, the ecosystem, it works together. So the drum pads work with the Maschine. The keyboard has all the features that can work with Maschine and controls Maschine as well. Now, nobody is going to be recording vocals in Maschine, at least not for like doing songs, but to sample, that is something that you can do, as well as with Serato, I'm pretty sure, and Garageband for that matter. But the latter two are more so focused on beat production. So these two are not going to be the ones that you want to go for if you're looking for something to also record your vocals in. Now, you can get these two and then record vocals in GarageBand or whatever other DAW that you want to use. That's what I do. Maschine also has a very, very incredible sound selection. We already talked about that, but you know, the free stuff that they give you is incredible. And then once you get into the complete 13 territory, where you're actually buying the sound kits and stuff, or the expansion packs, whew, man, it's something. It's a vast library of tens, if not hundreds of thousands of sounds that you can use. Now, much like Serato Studio, this also has a sample chopping feature, because it, you know, comes with the pads. If you buy the pads, you get the software. That's what Maschine is known for. It's known for their drum pads. So you can chop your samples, you know, into the pads like a normal person with an MPC would do. So that's a really great feature about Maschine. Maschine also has a auto chord feature as well, where every single pad that you play will be a chord. I also thought that was pretty dope. You can also implement plugins. And then when we talk about different applications, the ecosystem, once again, Maschine does have an app in the App Store called iMaschine that you can use to build beats on the go. And then once you are ready to bring that into your desktop, I believe there is a way to save that file and ship it off to your actual computer, open it up in Maschine, and there you have an idea that you started on your phone, but now you have on your computer to complete the idea and finish it up. Now, obviously, these aren't the end-all, be-all, you know, final destination of your DAWs. If you don't want them to be, you can use them as stepping stones to launch you into Ableton or to Pro Tools or whatever it may be. But I think standing alone with them, and me making music for as long as I have, I could totally see myself, and I have done this myself, made music specifically in Serato, in Maschine, in GarageBand, professionally, on a professional level. I'm not talking like, oh, it sounds cute, you know? No, this stuff sounds really dope. So these are I think the three best DAWs, the three best music production softwares for you to get started in if you're just now starting your music journey. And even if you're already well into it, these things are gonna be ones that still can help you create the ideas that you're trying to create, and focus your energy on being creative instead of trying to figure out how does this work. There is no right or wrong answer. Whatever you choose to work with, don't let people tell you one is better than the other. Don't let people tell you that you can't make professional calls. Oh, you're still using GarageBand? I still get comments to this day. You should switch to Logic. Why are you using GarageBand? It's so unprofessional. But they just got done saying that my songs sound incredible. So like, which is it? Is my music unprofessional, or does it sound incredible? Like, don't switch it up now just because you know what I use. So I just wanted to, you know, give this little pep talk here for you guys. One that I haven't done in quite some time. It's been like super creative and trying to be all crazy and Peter McKinnon status, you know, stuff. But just taking a break for today, talking to you guys. I hope you found something useful in this video. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions. Leave a like on this video if you found this to be helpful. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. Turn on that bell notifications and change it to all, not personalized, so you'll be notified every time I upload a brand new video and every time I go live, because I do go live every single Saturday. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and as always, happy music creation. Stay